G'day champion, how are you? Welcome back to Murphy's Magic Saturday Sorcery. My name of course is Beau Creamer. Thanks so much for joining me today, you absolute legend out of all the legends. It's true, I googled it and your name came up more than any other. Now today's episode we have a special treat for you. The one and only Michael Scanzello is here to teach you an awesome card to box. Now before we check out a full performance and the breakdown of this awesome effect, I do want to tell you about this week's giveaway. If you want a chance to win the sneaky card to location bundle, stick around till later on the episode and I'll show you how to enter that giveaway. Now Michael, my friend, over to you.
And yeah, we're going to be doing a card to card box routine here. So I guess let's get into it. I'll do a performance first. Well, imagine you just did your most amazing card tricks. Spectators are blown away. They're freaking out. And you want to wrap up with a really strong closer. It's just going to leave them something really special. I like to use a card with some white space on it, so we'll use the Two of Clubs. We'll have, I'll sign it myself. It can be signed by anybody. You may be hearing my dog in the background. He likes to bark at just the wrong time. Now you guys can see, so you take the card, and I'm going to try and perform this kind of at crotch level, excuse it, so you guys can see what's going on with the deck. Here we go. And I do normally perform standing up, so I'll probably stand up just so you can see it and the flow of it and everything. Here we go. There's the card. So after you've done your crazy, ambitious card, whatever you do, take the card. Now see, watch, I'm going to make it disappear this time. And I'll just take it, actually I'll place it right here on my leg, and if you can see that right there. And look, well, it's not gone yet because you're watching too closely. And you can see that's the only card with your name on it, right? Watch, it only takes about 5 hours, but it's so worth it. Just kidding, watch. It's not here, it's not here, it's nowhere in between. Trust me, I'm a professional. Nowhere in between. But actually your card went somewhere. Did you see where it went? Actually, just now, did you see it? And usually they see the box move a little bit, and I say, yeah, you saw the box move just a little bit? No? You see it move now? And now if we go over to the table, the box has been sitting there the whole time. You can hear that. There's something in there, yeah. And if you would make a hand basket for me, make a little hand basket. Get that out of the way here. And you can take a look inside the box there. Do you see anything floating around in there? Maybe like a card kind of folded up. Look. Now I'd have a spectator hold out their hands, and I just dump it right into their hands. They take the card themselves, open it up, and they find, in fact, the signed card. Oh! So that's the effect, that's the performance of the effect. Just give me 1 second. Let me go talk to my people in the background for a little noise control. Hang tight.
Have you seen last week's free tutorial yet? Make sure you do. Card on screen right now, or the link is in the description. Make sure you check it out. It's an absolute feast for the eyes and it's completely free. Go treat yourself. Now I'm so sorry, Michael. I need to interrupt for just a wee second because I want to find out who won last episode's bundle. So completely subtle palm, please. I ain't old enough and I'm just hanging out here. Or am I? Now congratulations my friend, you're the winner of last episode's bundle. So if you could DM me on any of Murphy's socials, I'll get that prize out to you quicker. You can say, hey, we knew you weren't palming anything from the start. Now on to this week's giveaway. If you want a chance to win the sneaky location bundle, comment in the comment section below. If you could make a card appear anywhere, where would you make it appear? Let me know in the comment section below. I'll choose someone out at random and you'll be announced in the next episode. So good luck. All right, champion, ready to check out more videos just like this one? Make sure you check out our YouTube channel where we drop new videos every single day. And while you're there, make sure you subscribe because why not? Save yourself coming back later.
Okay, so let's get into the explanation portion, guys. You probably can guess the basic handling up to the point where the card ends up in the box. It's some standard stuff, good classic moves. You can do a double lift, or what I like to do is the illogical double lift from Harry Lorraine, who actually gave me permission to teach it to you nice folks out there. So the signed card's folded up, so we won't use that one. I'll just use a new card. We'll just imagine this is the signed card here. It's been signed. And now, what I do is, you guys can see the deck here. You get your one card break above the top card, a little pinky break, the left pinky. You put the card, the signed card, on top of the deck this way. You have a break with those two cards. Now it looks like you're going to be turning the card over face down to place it either on the table or on your knee, but you're actually switching it. So what happens is you're here, you get that one card break. You're here, the sign card goes on top. Your right fingers are going to pick up both cards. Both cards they pick up, they take them over to the side, maybe like about halfway this way. And what's going to happen is you're just going to turn, the right hand is going to turn the top 2 cards in, like you're going to flip them this way on top of the deck. Of course, you would expose that card face up on top, the indifferent card. So to cover that, you're going to do a wrist turn with the left hand at the same time. So,
Michael, can you just redo that? Just bring your hand back a little bit more so we can see it. There we go. Perfect. Right there.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you're here. You got your 1 card break above the top card, top indifferent card. Sign card goes on top like this. The right hand comes back in. The fingers go into the break. They take 2 cards, both cards. And you're basically going to flip like this. So you're going to do that with both of the top cards. But to cover that, your left hand is going to turn in. So in real speed, it looks like that. And it just looks kind of like you're turning a card over. So just one more time. You're here, break, here, here. And at the same time as you're turning this hand in, your left thumb just pushes off that top indifferent card, which is now face down. So the wrist kill, turning the left wrist up, kind of neck tying the deck, hides that indifferent card as you take it. And I take it and just kind of jog it off the side of the deck as I'm going to put it on my leg. And I really do put it on my leg the first time, and I just rub and nothing happens. And then I get another 1 card break, so I can do a double lift and just show that the sign card's still on top. Sign card's here. And you still have that indifferent card on top. Now you can do the rub-a-dub vanish, which is a very simple vanish from expert card technique. You're just going to basically left thumb pushes over the top card to deal it on to be taken this way. But all you do under cover of your left hand, after they see a flash of the card on this side, even between your fingers, which I believe is a Paul Harris subtlety, you're just going to close your fingers to make a screen, and the left thumb's just going to retract that card back. So here, it's just going to retract back. So like that, but in time, with the right timing, it looks like the card's still here, but it's really on top of the deck. And then you do your whole rub-a-dub. It's gone. You can show the top card so it's not there. And I take the top card, and I turn the whole deck over that way with my left thumb. I put this indifferent card I put on top of the deck, the face-up deck. So now the top card of the deck is the signed card. Okay, and then you can do as I go in. You want to mess the cards up. You want to really mess the cards up and make a big mess out of them. That way you have a reason to square up. And when you're doing the Mercury card fold to get the card folded, you have more cover because you're apparently squaring up the messed up deck as you're spreading through to show that the card's not there. You can also do a little riffle. And whenever this is the great way to misdirect as you point to the box on the table. You can even set this across the room, like on the mantelpiece on the other side. Everybody looks at the box and you say, oh, did you see the box move? Everybody looks at the box, you bring attention to the box, and now when you come back to square up, your right hand's going to go in biddle grip, which is this kind of a grip. You want to make sure that your right thumb is at the back of the deck right there, and the left index finger is just going to kind of run that bottom card, which is the signed card, just along the bottom of the deck right there. It's important to keep it in contact with the next card on the bottom so it stays in line. 2 fingers go in, and you're just going to crunch that card in against the right thumb right in the center there. You can see that. And then bend the left fingers in to make that second fold. And that's pretty much it. It just goes here, and it ends up on the bottom of the deck, and you can push down to reinforce the folds. There'll also be, in the additional construction video we're going to give you guys a link for, there'll be a close-up of the Mercury card fold there as well. So once you got the card folded on the bottom of the deck, you're going to take the box out with your empty hand. It's important to show your hand empty, and reach over and pick up the box, which is closed up on the table. And it's important to have the box where the flap is going to be facing up. So the seal is facing up. And I put the box on top of the deck. I have somebody hold out their hands and make a hand basket. You just remove the deck, leaving the folded up card under the box right here. Deck goes away. You can put that in your pocket, wherever. Now it's cool because you're just kind of asking somebody to bring their hands closer, and they can see this hand's empty. Nice little subtlety. And then you just trade hands with the box and the card as you go to open the flap. So they've seen both hands empty. You roll the flap. You actually wrap the flap around the folded card, so that hides the folded card right there under the flap. So as you open, you're just wrapping this right around that folded card. And you're going to re-grip with your right hand with your thumb and your second finger, just like this. And you can see that. So you're here. You're kind of holding the flap in place, which is holding the folded card. So like that, kind of like that. And now you can use your index finger if you need to pop open the box and jiggle the card around in the box. Now this is just a dummy card on a string. We'll get into the construction in detail later on in the additional video, but I'll briefly run through it in a little bit. So it's a dummy card on the little string. And you shake it around, you see a folded up card. So the picture's already complete in the spectator's mind. And as you go to dump the card into a spectator's hand, what's going to happen is you're going to turn your hand this way, and the right thumb's going to move from where it's at to this side of the box. The right fingers are going to end up like here on this side. As you're turning the box, you're going to release with this second finger, and it's going to obviously release the flap, which is going to lets the folded card go from behind the flap. So I'll just do that again. That's a little bit of a, that's the only really, so yeah, you can open the box up, you can show the card in there, you can see it moving around. And then when you do the drop here, this part, what actually happens is you're holding here, sorry about that, you're holding here with your right thumb on this side, your right second finger on this side, the index finger on top. The grip in the right hand is going to shift to the thumb going to here, the finger is going to end up kind of here, and you're kind of turning the box this way. As you turn to dump the card out, you're going to release with the second finger. It's going to go that way. So the box goes basically from this kind of a grip to that kind of a grip right here. Goes to there. So you just let it go here and let it go there. So when the flap opens up, it of course drops the card out into the spectator's hand. Now you don't want that to happen, but if you do it with about 5 or 6 inches between the box and between the spectator, making the hand basket, putting your hands together, it creates a pretty cool illusion of it coming out from inside the box. And they just saw it inside the box, so it completes the whole picture. Turn the flap towards you. You can throw it on the table. Nobody cares about the box. And you have the spectator unfold the card and see it is the signed card. Whoa! That's the basic rundown on the handling. The box itself, in the back here, I don't know if you can see this. Let me try and find out where the web camera, there we go. In the back, you might see there's a hole with some invisible sewing thread put through the hole. I just took a needle and made the hole in the back of the box first. And then I took a invisible sewing thread, which is this stuff right here. You can find it at your finer fabric stores. And it's the clear kind. And I cut out about a 2-foot section, which is way more than you need. You're only actually going to use probably about 2.5 inches of this stuff, but you need extra. You thread a needle. First you thread it through the mercury folded card, which is going to be the dummy card, which goes inside the box. And then you tape the thread to the card once it goes through the middle of the card. And then you just run the thread with the needle inside the box through the hole that you made in the back end. You pull it out, and I put a little dab of super glue on the back here. I like the gel kind of super glue. And then you put some tape over here too so it can dry while the glue is drying. And then you can cut off the excess thread once the glue is completely dried. You have a very nice little gaff there. I'll do a full construction in another section or another video. And that's pretty much it. It's a simple effect. It seems pretty straightforward. There's a lot of versions of card to box and different containers out there right now that are really cool and awesome. This one served me really well over a number of years, doing it thousands of times. And what I like about it is it's very organic. It's the box that the cards come in. It takes no extra space in your pockets because you're going to put the deck into a case anyway. And you can actually squeeze almost an entire deck. If you just take out like 3 cards from your full deck of cards, you can squeeze the whole deck inside the box over the card. And just a little tip on putting the deck into the box is you want to make a ramp with the cards like this. So when you put them in the box, it goes right over where that card's folded up and makes a nice little ramp to go right inside the box, just like that. And you just need to carry this in your pocket, a marker, a Sharpie, and you are good to go. This has been a killer effect. I've done many paying gigs. This is one of my main, maybe my 2 or 3 tricks I did over and over and over again, and it kills people every time. So I hope you guys have a lot of fun with it.
You're going to need a card box. I like using a new one. A deck of cards you'll need eventually. Some Scotch tape. Any kind of work. You need to get, this is kind of important here. I'll take the tape off so you can see it better. This is actually invisible sewing thread. You find this at your finer fabric stores if you have like a Joann Fabrics or craft stores. And you don't want the tinted kind, but the clear kind. So this is not Magician's invisible thread, but invisible sewing thread. And the needles, I like to use 2 different sizes, a big thick one to make the hole in the bottom of the box, and then a smaller one to actually thread it through. And I'll tell you about that. But you can get those if you get this big multi-pack. At most dollar stores they have this where you get the thick ones and the thin ones. And you need your glue. If you can see right there on the glue, this is the Loctite Super Glue Ultra Gel Control. I love this because this container really keeps it airtight. I've used the same container for years, and the gel control gives you a lot more control. Regular super glue goes all over the place. The stuff stays right where you want it. And of course some scissors, and we are ready to go. So step 1, you're going to take your big needle, and you're going to go to the back of the box. You probably won't see the numbers on the video here, but you're just going to go over. If you're looking at the bottom of the box and the UPC is on your left, it's going to be the second 0. Right before the 808, there's 1, 2 zeros. You go up to the top of the UPC, closest to the top of the box, the front of the box, and make a hole right where the black is. Just punch a hole right there. Right there. Now, you need to fold your card. That's going to be the dummy card to go inside the box. I use the Mercury card folder. You can find an expert card technique. Pretty simple. Get the hold the deck in the right hand in biddle grip. That's this kind of grip, this claw grip. You want your thumb to extend maybe a good 1.5 inches below the back short side there. Your right first finger is going to come in and just slide along like that. And make sure you keep the front edge of the card in contact with the bottom of the deck the whole time as you slide it along. And as you come to the back end, you're just going to push with your right thumb and use your left fingers as a barrier, kind of curl in a little bit with the left fingers to finish, to make the second fold. So right here, you came in, and then you just bend those left fingers in and put the deck on top. And you can push with your thumb on top to reinforce those folds. And that card on the bottom, that's the Mercury card fold. So you have a card nice and folded, and you want it to be a little messy, because when you do this fold, you're never going to get it perfect. That's what you want the dummy card to look like, so it matches the signed card later on. So you've done that. Now, open up the card you've just folded, and there's a little circle right in the center of the card, right there in the middle. Take your regular needle, punch it right through the hole in the center, and leave it sticking up just like that. Now what you're going to do is you're going to put the thread through the needle. With it sticking out of the card, it makes it a little bit easier to do that. Just get off maybe a couple feet worth of thread, leave it on the spool. That'll save you some trouble later on as well. Don't need that much. And I like to grip it maybe about a 1/2 inch from the end of the thread. Pick up your card, and just, as long as you can see the eye of the needle and the thread, you should be able to thread it through. I think a dark background helps a lot. So if you have a black shirt, you can put it down in front of you. Black table like this one, whatever you got. Make sure you thread it through really good. And now you're just going to pull it right through the card. Pull it all the way through the card. Let that loose end come out. That's why you make sure you have a good amount of thread through the needle, so when you pull through it doesn't come loose. In fact, at this point I take a little bit of Scotch tape and I tape my short end down to my table surface so I don't unthread my needle. Very important to keep that needle threaded on there, save you time later. Take a big piece of tape, maybe about 1.5 inches. Go to the inside. I like to pick the side where the fold is a V fold, where it's going inwards. Right there. Run the thread right along that V fold, wherever that hole is in the center, and just tape it down right in there. Get the tape right in the middle and push it good and tight. Good and tight in there. You want to make sure that tape's not going to move out of that spot. This is going to permanently hold the thread against the folded dummy card inside the box. So you want to make sure this is going to last you for a long time. Just work it in there with your fingernails. What I like to do on the back end, and you make sure you have a good maybe 1.5 feet or so of thread on this side, because you want plenty of thread to play with to set it up to go in the box. We're good. So I'm going to actually cut this off short right there. I left a little bit hanging out. Take my crazy glue, in this case my super glue, my Loctite super glue. I'm going to glue a little dot right in the middle, right over where that thread comes out. You can push it with your thumb, with your index finger. Just get it nice and glued down there tight. Now we get down to the threading of the card the dummy card inside the box. You're going to turn the box around to the opening side of it, and if you can see here, the little hole in the bottom, the little black dot, that's the hole. I usually hold this up to a light source so I can see like a little pinhole of light in the back of the box. That's how I can kind of see where that hole is. I take my needle and thread, take it off the table surface here. You gotta make sure you got a good nice meaty part of it threaded in there. Hold it with your thumb and index finger right at the very edge. The most closest to the edge you can get, the better. And the reason why I use the thin needle, the big fat needle is longer, but you're gonna have a bigger hole in the back end. I try to have the smallest hole possible, just so people don't see a weird hole in the back of the box and wonder why there's a hole. I use the small needle. That's why I'm threading. And if you just really put your thumb and finger along one side of the box, you can see the hole down the other side of the box. So like if my thumb and finger is here, I can see the hole the whole time until my thumb and finger are just right about over top of it. You can bow the box out. You may even want to tear a tiny bit of the box, like right here, to help you facilitate getting it in there. So you're just here. We're just going to aim for that. And once you get through, bam, you're right there. Needle comes out, and it's smooth sailing from here. So now you're going to pull the thread through and hang on to that end. Don't lose that end. There's so many times I've threaded it through and then being careless, it just slides right back out. So I make sure I got this, and with my right hand I tend to grab the thread so I can hold on to it. Now I'm just going to turn the box upside down, and obviously now I can see how it's hanging out beyond that edge, this edge right here. Can you see that? There's the box right there, clear? So that's the edge you want it to not go beyond. So I want to pull the thread a little bit inside the box, taking up the slack here. So where I have about maybe like 1/8 of an inch. So if I bring that corner out as much as possible, as much as I could possibly get it out there, as you dangle it and drop it, as much as you can get it out as possible. You want it to stay in about 1/8 of an inch. So when you turn it upside down, nothing sticks out. You can see that right there. Nothing sticks out. Once you get that distance, you take this thread with your left index finger, touch it right where it comes out of the hole. So now you can take the tape and put it off to the side away from where the hole is, but pinning that thread against the bottom of the box. This is very important. You want to leave this area open. You'll see why in just a minute. So there's the hole with the thread coming out. I taped it over here, and I double check my distance. Again, I wiggle the card around, I make sure it doesn't stick out, and it doesn't. You also don't want to make it too short though, because if it's too short, it doesn't look good. Once you have that set, you're going to take your glue again, just put a little bit of glue right over the hole and the thread, get it right in the middle. There we go. I like to put like 2 dabs, like one right on top and one a little bit away from there. Just gives me a fail-safe, like a backup in case that one dab comes loose. You get an extra loop, and I kind of touch it with my finger to flatten it out a little bit. And nobody's going to notice it because of the barcode. Nobody's going to notice that dab of glue, and nobody's looking for it anyway. It doesn't really mean anything to anybody. So now you're going to let this sit and dry, and you have a complete crib gimmick. In concluding here, you saw the construction, the performance, and all explanation. And this is my deluxe model. I have a new thing with the card to box where I put a few magnets in there. My great friend Marc, he actually gave me the idea. He said, because if you're in a quiet room and you dump the box over, sometimes you might hear it rustling around after it's supposed to be folded up and dropped into the spectator's hand as you put the box on the table. So what I've done is I've actually put a little mini magnet underneath the label right here. I don't know if we can see this, but there's a little magnet right under the seal there. You just re-stick the seal, and that holds the magnet in place. And you just stick a magnet in one corner of your folded card. In this case, I made it with a $1 bill. That's another thing too, you can make it with a $1 bill, with a business card, any folded object you can really put in there. It'll fit. So there's a magnet there. So there's a magnet right here in this corner. You can see it in the side view, in fact. You probably see a little silver there. You don't want that sticking out like that, but it just sticks there. So that way, and when you're shaking it, you hear shaking, and you dump out whatever's inside. When you turn it over, it's going to stick right there, magnet to magnet. So that's a nice little touch. I put an extra magnet as well on the flap, and then I just took a piece of white index card and made an extra layer, and there's a magnet in the middle layer of the flap here, if you can see. But trust me, there's a magnet right about here. So when this is back here, it connects to here, to the magnet here. It just makes sure that the flap is going to look the right way. overuse, the flap can look worn out and it won't quite want to stick out where it should. It'll get worn, it'll kind of either go in or it'll open up too much. It'll be hard to close the flap. So with the magnet, it keeps it closed at the perfect distance. So that's the deluxe model. And I hope you have a lot of fun with it. Like I said, I've done this for years. It gets a great reaction.
Now, thank you so much, Michael, you absolute champion. I can't thank you enough. If you want to see more of Michael's work, link in the description below right now to his socials. Make sure you go check him out. Now, I know you're incredibly busy, you cutie patootie, and I'll let you get back to your Saturday. So I'll see you tomorrow on our full performance, on Tuesday for a special episode of Stumped, on our Discord for our weekly jams, trivia games, hangouts, and even more, or on Wednesday for our What's New This Week. We have a big week ahead of us, so my friend, take care of yourself. See you later. Bye for now. Whoa, hey, whoa, what's that? Oh, you should definitely check out that. Oh, there's so much good magic in there. You won't regret it. Hey, whoa, hey, look at this bad boy. You should definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe, then watch that. Oh, it's a good day to treat yourself.